Hello everyone, I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's Odds and Ends. If this is your first time here, be sure and subscribe and click on that bell icon to be notified of all of my new videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up as it really helps the channel out. And now, on with the video.
There's a magical kingdom in Orlando, Florida, where all who pass through its gates become characters in stories that always have happy endings. Once upon a time, two little girls, a young lady, and a bride-to-be shared a dream with millions of other young women around the world. To be a princess for a day and rule over a kingdom unlike any other.
It's hard work to be a princess.
Well, at Walt Disney World, their dreams are about to become reality as they experience the royal treatment and step into a real-life fairy tale.
It blows my mind that my dream wedding is actually coming true, that I am getting a fairy tale princess wedding.
Every wish will be at Disney's command, and their families will be able to share in all of the magic.
Forget the kids, I was the princess for the evening.
Being treated like a royal will truly be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Think this is one heck of a fantasy? Well, watch this. In the land of the Magic Kingdom, dreams really do come true. Sisters Juliana and Ileana Rodriguez have dreamt of being princess for a day for as long as they can remember. Now they'll be transformed into their favorite fairy princesses and get to spend the day hanging with storybook friends. And the night partying with swashbuckling pirates. Sarah Perez is turning 15 and can't wait for her shining moment as the belle of the ball at her tradition-filled coming-of-age quinceanera celebration.
Pinch me, I'm Uncle Jimmy. Oh my gosh.
And Katie Ridley got lucky and found her Prince Charming in fiancé Brian B.J. Chase. Now they're about to live out a royal fantasy fairy tale wedding, complete with a Mad Hatter bridal tea party, glass slipper, and horse-drawn carriage to transport them to their happily ever after. Okay, now let's back up here, because there's no happily ever after without a once upon a time.
When I was like 8 years old, there was a special on TV on fairy tale weddings, and they had, of course, a wedding at Disney, and I was like, I have to get married at Disney. This is like, that's what my dream is. I have to get married at Disney, and I've always said it.
It was Katie's parents who first started the family's love affair.
30 years ago, we came to Walt Disney World for our honeymoon. And when we had children, right from day one, they started coming as babies.
The Ridleys loved their trips to Walt Disney World.
Oh yes, the Ridleys are going to Disney again.
And before long, Katie's high school sweetheart, Brian, joined in their adventures.
And he was 6'4", 6'5" when he came here with his autograph book.
I acted like a little kid and I had a great time.
He just fell in love with Disney his first time here.
While Brian had a lot of catching up to do.
He'd never seen Bambi before we got together. I was like, Bambi, that's a classic.
Katie had always dreamed that the Magic Kingdom would be at the center of her wedding.
It blows my mind that my dream wedding is actually coming true, that I am getting a fairy tale princess wedding. I'm excited.
For many young women like Katie, there's only one princess in the land who's truly the fairest of them all.
Cinderella.
I remember the first time we brought my oldest daughter here, she was 4. I think Cinderella was the first thing she saw, and she just, I mean, she just couldn't contain her astonishment and amazement.
She likes animals just like me.
Yeah, I'd definitely say Cinderella. She'd be definitely my favorite.
I think most brides that you would ask all want to be a princess on their wedding day. And I think a bride like Katie has definitely seen Cinderella, grown up loving Cinderella, watching the movies, and embracing that as kind of her dream wedding. And we can actually make her Cinderella dream come true.
Over in Epcot, dreams were also coming true for Sarah Perez and her court of honor, who are having a blast exploring the park before tonight's Quinceanera celebration, the Hispanic commemoration of a young woman's 15th birthday.
Well, a quinceañera is a coming-of-age party where a young lady turns into a señorita, someone who is the pride and joy of her family. It's a time where the entire family comes together to celebrate this child.
And that's why from the age of 12, she's been waiting for such a day like this and being able to say, look, I'm ready to go to college, I'm ready to, I've learned so much. We're excited to do a party to say, she knows where she's going.
Sarah's love of Princess Jasmine makes Walt Disney World a natural choice for her quince location.
Jasmine is hugely popular among Hispanic girls, and it's because Jasmine represents a woman on her own. She is beautiful, she's smart, she's articulate, and she knows the world.
I like how she makes her own choices. She's independent. She wants to fall in love with whoever she wants to fall in love with. And I like that, I'm an independent girl.
To us, Jasmine represents really the essence of the Latina woman. Go out there, be yourself, and be beautiful at it.
Now, being yourself, well, that's easy. But being a princess?
It's hard work to be a princess.
Exactly. And at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, there's a team of professionals waiting to serve.
It's a magical transformation. When they come in here, they're actually transformed into the princess that's in their heart. They can come in and look like Cinderella, and when they leave, they are Cinderella. So we want to make sure that we can customize that transformation experience to every little girl so that the princess that's within her can come out.
Well, hello, princesses. How are you today?
That's just what the Rodriguez family is hoping for today with their little princesses.
Here's your royal invitation. If you look inside, it has all the hairstyles you get to choose from, okay? I'm Princess Juliana. Here's your royal invitation. You ready to go shopping?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you girls follow me, princesses? Royal closet.
Choosing which princess to become is one of the day's biggest decisions.
Belle, Tinkerbell.
It seems all princesses, big and small, have their favorite.
We've got Belle, who loves to read. You've got Ariel, who, at the beginning of Little Mermaid, Ariel rescues Eric, the prince, not the other way around.
Tell me again which princess you dressed up as.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, although a little rebellious in that she wanted to go outside of the castle, what happened? She found that home was really where her heart belonged.
I love Jasmine. It's my favorite Disney character. I just love her.
The same thing with Ariel. Ariel was all about the sea, and it was about friendship and acceptance.
So she's a strong woman. She's a good swimmer. I think that those are, role models that the kids can look up to.
What's your favorite princess?
Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, Cinderella, for instance, she's a hard worker also and very noble.
So all of the values and the virtues and the morals that these stories encompass is really what our princesses are all about.
Do you know what princess you would like to be?
Cinderella.
Cinderella, okay.
Belle.
Belle, okay. Princesses, your royal chamber.
A quick wave of the magic wand, and the magical transformation is underway. Finally, a sprinkle of Tinkerbell's pixie dust guarantees that all of their dreams will come true.
Sparkle everywhere.
It's priceless to watch them turn around, and when they see themselves in the mirror and they see how their fairy godmother in training has transformed them into what they believe princesses are, you just have to see it to believe it.
Oh, we're just getting started making dreams come true. When we return, the focus is on the Rodriguez sisters as they work the camera for a fast-paced photo shoot.
I felt like a movie star.
And with a couple of royal balls to throw, we'll check out how Disney event planners are at your service.
We'll make it happen.
Walt Disney World has been bringing the royal treatment to its guests since the castle gates opened in 1971. And it's that extraordinary white glove service that continues to draw guests again and again.
Well, I think on some level, we all want to feel like royalty when we're on vacation.
Juliana and Ileana Rodriguez have just experienced a magical makeover that has transformed them into royalty by some hardworking fairy godmothers in training.
I think it's fantastic that they can come here and they don't just meet princesses, they become a princess. It is an amazing experience for them.
With princess bags in hand and crowns firmly on their heads, the girls pose for a captured moment with their fairy godmothers.
All right, big smiles.
And then get busy voguing for a few memories of their own with a fab photo shoot that's just part of the full-service package they're enjoying at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Perfect.
It's just another way for guests to experience Disney's picture-perfect service. Sarah Perez has spent a jam-packed day exploring the shops and sights of Epcot with family and friends. But tonight is the event she's been looking forward to most, her 15th birthday or quinceanera.
I want to have a quinceanera. I mean, I've always wanted it. I can't wait. It's exciting.
Hey, look at what?
Sarah's dream of becoming a princess at a royal ball is something she's wanted for quite some time.
I've been planning since I was 12, yeah.
Hi, Donna.
Her parents felt Walt Disney World was the perfect place to ensure those dreams would come true.
From day one, the planning and the organization and to getting us here, the communication was wonderful for Disney to provide, you know, a service like this that in a couple of weeks or in a month we could put it together and just concentrate on the family. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Walt Disney World is a place where we create any dream. You name it and we'll create it. We have choreographers, we have stylists, we have set designers. Anything that your heart desires, we can create here at Walt Disney World. We'll make it happen.
Katie Ridley and BJ Chase are just a day away from walking down the aisle in their Cinderella-inspired fairy tale wedding.
I think she's gonna look more beautiful than Cinderella when she's walking down that aisle.
He's my Prince Charming. I tell people that. We can get married in Disney because I found my Prince Charming.
Well, it appears there are quite a few other Prince Charmings out there who marry their princesses at Walt Disney World.
Here at Disney Fairytale Weddings, we've hosted over 30,000 weddings since we opened in 1991. And on average, we do about 1,500 weddings a year from people from all over the world as well as all over the country.
Franck Studios is home to the dedicated wedding consultants who are at the heart of fairy tale weddings in Walt Disney World. And the location just might look a little familiar.
They did take inspiration from the actual movie Father the Bride. And Franck had a beautiful studio, very similar in inspiration. So we actually allow our couples to come in here and get to choose cakes and flowers. They can actually pick all the details for their wedding day.
They're so helpful over the phone and over the email, getting right back to you that, I mean, and they don't miss a beat.
So from the moment they call, through the actual process of selecting their location and their date and helping them discover what their budget should be, and that's where our team really enjoys being able to be that expert, holding their hand and making sure that their wedding day is absolutely perfect.
Just ahead, a menu of fabulous foods and fairy tale fun when the Rodriguez family attends a Princess Storybook Luncheon and Katie Ridley throws a Mad Hatter bridal tea party. That'll leave your head spinning.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Juliana and Ileana Rodriguez have just wrapped an exciting photo shoot.
Perfect.
And now Mom and Dad have even more surprises in store for the girls. Next on the royal itinerary is a luncheon befitting their regal princess status where they can mingle with others of their stature.
You can go to Cinderella's royal table, which is the best place to meet Cinderella and to get up close and personal inside Cinderella's castle.
But if you desire a meal with several of your favorite princesses, head over to the Storybook Lunch in Epcot's Norway Pavilion.
It's filled with all the old classic Disney princesses like Cinderella and some of the new ones like Belle and Jasmine.
Here, a flavorful feast is served in a Norwegian castle, and a gathering of everyone's favorite princesses is present for an exclusive meet and greet.
What I love about the characters is that they really are great with the shy kids. They don't overpower them. They sort of get down on their level and wait and see if the child will come, because it can be overwhelming to see Cinderella in real life, but they really do warm up because these characters are pros at getting kids to love them.
It's not every day a girl can get princess pointers from a real pro.
How lovely.
But the Storybook Lunch is just the place.
It's just going to be a memory that's going to last them for a lifetime. It truly is.
Back at the hotel, the Perez family is excitedly preparing for their daughter Sarah's coming-of-age celebration, her quinceanera.
Those are taken extremely seriously. Disney has packages for quinceanera celebrations that are very elaborate. They're almost like weddings.
There are so many options here, unlike any place in the world.
Professional hair and makeup artists are just one of the many services that can be arranged for a young lady, so when she arrives at her ball, she'll truly look like a princess. A very royal limo waits to whisk Sarah and her parents off to the ball cool, calm, and collected, so they could focus on what's important to them.
Princess for a day?
Yeah, princess for a day. Well, princess forever in my heart.
This is your coming out party, and we want everyone to know that you are destined to become someone great.
At the American Adventure Rotunda in Epcot, Sarah gets her first sneak peek of the glowing ballroom that reflects all of the decisions she and her family made together.
Well, La Quinceañera, it focuses the young lady's attention throughout the high school, the most difficult teenage years, into this one huge event where she's going to be showcased as the jewel of the family. So all her energy and, her studies and her behavior are going towards that one particular night.
Pinch me, I'm in pajamas. Oh my gosh.
And therefore, they usually turn out to be really great kids.
While Sarah's looking forward to performing her dramatic ballroom dance with the Court of Honor,
The Court of Honor is really, really important. They spend months in choreographing dances, and it could be very, very elaborate.
she's saving the most special dance for her prince of a hero, her fireman father, Arnaldo.
Dancing with my dad is very important because my dad is a very important person in my life. I mean, every day, he goes out and saves somebody. He's other people's heroes, but he's also mine. He's not just my dad, he's my friend. It's a very special moment with me and my dad. It's gonna be really special, I know it. So I can't wait.
Bride-to-be Katie Ridley is also throwing a unique affair for friends and family today, a Mad Hatter bridal tea party.
The Mad Hatter Tea Party is one of my favorite events. It's very colorful and lively. It's all the elements of Alice in Wonderland, from the White Rabbit to the Mad Hatter to Alice coming and interacting with your guests.
Oh, my.
And eating it my favorite way to eat a sandwich. Nice and messy, and on the table right there with your hand.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes, Your Majesty.
For Katie, half the fun of this event was in the planning.
They have props up to really make it feel like you're in the Alice in Wonderland. We have fun centerpieces. There's just all kinds of bright colors, and make it like the Mad Hatter Tea Party, all crazy and upside down.
The bride's name Katie.
Get Katie.
So it's a Katie party.
Katie did. She did.
Like all Disney events, there's a diverse selection of menu options so you can customize your Mad Hatter party to meet your budget. Whether you choose a full champagne brunch or the more affordable dessert tea, Disney's impeccable service is always on the bill of fare. And whimsical characters definitely keep this royal affair from getting too stuffy.
The mother of the bride is flirting with me.
Talk about a great photo op for the guests. These photo souvenirs will no doubt remind them for years to come of this most special bridal celebration. Coming up,
If your little girl wants to be a princess, this is the place to come.
a young girl becomes a young woman at her royal Quinceanera Ball. And if you're ready to take the plunge, Disney can turn nuptial nightmares into fairy tale dreams with vows that'll wow.
It's gonna be hard to forget this wedding.
The Rodriguez sisters have just met many of their favorite princesses at a storybook lunch in Walt Disney World. Unfortunately for Juliana, one particular princess was nowhere to be found.
Didn't see Belle. Oh,
She was
wow.
probably busy at another
Yeah,
restaurant.
she was probably busy, honey. She couldn't get to us.
Now, they don't call this the happiest place on earth for nothing. And even the girls' parents are a little surprised to find that just about anything can happen.
1, 2, 3, feast.
Now that's a royal hug. Under the American Adventure Rotunda in Epcot, Sarah Perez's childhood dream is about to become a reality. She's finally going to assume the role of a princess at her own Quinceanera Ball.
I think within every woman, there's a princess.
As the guests arrive, the excitement builds. And before long, it's time to herald Sarah's entrance, the presentation of the Quinceanera.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Princess Sarah!
A Quinceanera celebration is all about tradition. The tiara and scepter are symbols that represent the responsibilities a young lady now accepts as she moves into adulthood. The passing of the last doll to a younger family member or friend signifies leaving behind the trappings of childhood. And the lucky girl who receives this gift? Well, she now dreams of the day she'll pass on the doll at her own quinceañera. Finally, the changing of the young lady's shoes.
Which is really the most traditional and I would say climatic moment of this event. The father takes her foot with a sandal, basically a child's shoe, and changes it into a señorita shoe, which with a high heel. And then from there, he picks her up and they do this wonderful dance. You know, and everybody knows that, wow, she went from a child to a woman.
This is the dance Sarah and her father have looked forward to since she was a little girl. But for her parents, it's a bittersweet moment.
You know, she's no longer a little girl. She's part of the family. Decision maker will be with her now because she's reached an age of maturity. She's not my little girl anymore.
The next dance belongs to Sarah and the young gentleman in her court of honor.
You have a lot of young men at the quinceañera, and they're all looking, and yeah, she's coming out, so they all say, okay. Remember Sarah with, you know, little pigtails and stuff, you know, and I'm sure there's one already.
Sarah's mind is undoubtedly focused on the elaborate dance she and her court have been practicing for months, a dance that represents a young lady's entrance into society.
So it's a transition, and many people create a wonderful choreography, and she becomes the centerpiece, where she's the star.
And dinner is now served.
The Disney event planner helped the Perez family choose tonight's menu so that it would appeal to both adults and teen guests. But everyone agrees, the cake is pure Sarah.
I love Jasmine. It's my favorite Disney character. I just love her.
This Aladdin-inspired confection is made of the finest ingredients, with alternating layers of marble cake with chocolate mousse and yellow cake with buttercream frosting. Its awe-inspiring design took 2 pastry chefs 24 hours to create from scratch, but it serves up memories that will last Sarah a lifetime. Over at the Grand Floridian, wedding bells will ring in less than 2 hours for bridegroom Brian B.J. Chase and his fiancée, Katie Ridley.
We have a salon to get ready in. We're having hairstylists come in and makeup artists, and we just have, you know, a good chunk of time to get ready and spend time with the girls.
Disney's wedding team effortlessly coordinates the day's events behind the scenes to make certain everything moves along on schedule.
Especially the day of, because that's a pretty exciting day where they want to spend time with their family and we're behind them kind of getting everything done.
They take care of you, and the details they make sure that run perfect. It makes you feel definitely special.
Put your arm around her, give her a squeeze under her veil. Very nice.
They take care of everything from A to Z. You don't have to worry that someone's not going to show up. You don't have to worry that they're not going to have things like your flowers that you wanted. Everything is done.
It's that dedicated service that allows a Disney bride to pull off the royal affair of her dreams without turning into a pumpkin. In fact, the only pumpkin around here is the glass coach pulling up to take Katie to meet her Prince Charming.
You can arrive or leave your wedding in a vintage Rolls Royce to a horse-drawn carriage to, believe it or not, actually a glass Cinderella's coach. Talk about Cinderella.
No doubt Cinderella's royal coach is the ride for any princess hoping to make a fairy tale entrance on her wedding day. This regal transportation is pulled by 6 Welsh ponies, guided by a coachman and appointed with 2 footmen in stately regalia. But traveling in style is not what's most special about the coach ride for Katie.
The carriage is picking me and my dad up, and I think it's just going to be a really nice, special time for us. It's really going to be the only time together, but just the 2 of us. Hopefully he gives me some words of wisdom and, you know, tells me something, and it'll probably make me cry. So hopefully my makeup makes it from the Grand Floridian over here, because we might need some hankies or something on the way over.
There's no shortage of locations within Disney's parks and resorts to fit a couple's ideal wedding theme or destination.
We've got a beautiful gazebo at Disney's Yacht Club Resort, an amazing outdoor open-aired pavilion over at Disney's Boardwalk Resort. The Polynesian has a beautiful Hawaiian setting.
Very popular is to get married at World Showcase in one of the different countries. You can get married in the middle of a replica of Venice's St. Mark's Square with a big Italian-themed reception afterwards. You could do a great sunrise wedding, maybe in Japan, in the middle of the pagodas and the koi ponds.
One couple got married on Tower of Terror and literally took the plunge. And that's what makes it fun for our Disney Weddings team, is getting to kind of understand that bride and groom's personality and what they're looking for and what's the perfect setting for their wedding event.
Katie's royal coach is headed to Disney's Wedding Pavilion, the premier site for spectacular wedding ceremonies within Walt Disney World.
So it's got a body of water on 3 sides of it, beautiful stained glass windows, a gorgeous archway up on the altar, and your backdrop is Cinderella Castle.
Upon their arrival at the wedding pavilion, guests will have an entertaining surprise awaiting them.
Katie and Brian wanted to make their Cinderella wedding even more unique. We actually have our character, Major Domo, who's going to have the white slipper on a pillow and actually interact with the guests before the wedding to kind of get them into the theme of Cinderella and having a princess wedding day.
Now there's the princess.
And he's going to be at the door greeting our guests, asking if the slipper fits. No, it doesn't fit you. And, you're not the one.
The face is correct for a princess, absolutely. Should we try this? All right, give me your. It's a little narrow. Valiant effort, heroic effort. Well, you have to check every princess in the land to be sure.
We have been technically planning this for 2 years. To see every little aspect that we put into it come together and form this day is just, I'm so excited.
Our couples that come to Disney are really amazed by the elements and the execution the day of the event and not having to worry about a single thing. They can relax and enjoy the wedding while we're doing all the behind-the-scenes magic to make their day come true.
This is the moment the Ridley family has always wanted to give their daughter Katie. And the addition of Brian to their family makes the day that much more perfect.
It feels great because we love Brian and we know it's right. They've been together for a long time, right from high school, and he's a wonderful person.
When they were young growing up, you think, who's the guy that's going to be, good enough to marry my daughter? And that's why I told her just before we walked down the aisle, she's found a beautiful guy. It's great.
Excuse me, my lady. Please pardon the interruption, but we have searched throughout the kingdom for the owner of this slipper, and you are the last maiden in the kingdom that I have not tried. May I? Is it fit?
It fits.
Let's rejoice throughout the kingdom. A new princess has been found. May the ceremony continue.
I really am most excited that her dreams are coming true. This is the wedding she wanted when she was 8 years old, and it's coming true.
May I have the rings? You may kiss your wife.
And just ahead on that horizon thar, matey, some bountiful good times when we check out Mickey's Pirate and Princess Party. And later, a fairy tale wedding reception that really takes the cake.
They can make your dream come true.
At Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, the royal treatment is a commitment to service that leaves guests with the unmistakable feeling of nobility.
Every little girl out there wants to be a royal princess at some point in their life. We all have maybe looked down at our plain little shoes and seen glass slippers sitting on our feet. You know, maybe it's not realistic, but we like to dream all the same.
I like princesses because they're all caring, special, they're always nice to people, and very pretty.
Every girl wants to be a princess, and Disney is the best place to do that.
I love being a princess.
And I felt like a princess. Forget the kids, I was the princess for the evening.
As the clock strikes midnight and all royal balls come to a close, there's one last magical place where royal elegance and charm lives on. Tucked away some 4 stories above the Magic Kingdom in the iconic centerpiece of Walt Disney World is a hidden gem, Cinderella Castle Suite. Created in 2007 by Disney's Imagineering department, the suite reflects the architectural styling of a French chateau circa 1697, when author Charles Perrault penned the story Cinderella.
As you go into the suite here, one of the first things that you see is the incredible fireplace. It's reflective of an actual fireplace that came from a chateau in France. That desk in the corner is an actual antique which we found, which is actually almost from the time period. This portrait with a special effect immediately turns into our DVD player. In the Castle Suite bathroom, at that time period, bathrooms probably weren't of this level. So we really took that challenge upon us.
The sink was inspired by an old-fashioned basin and pitcher, and the fixtures echo the pump on a well, something Cinderella would have in her own backyard.
As you sit in the tub, as the lights change, you can just stare up and you can look at the beautiful Venetian plaster ceiling with fiber optic lighting and stars.
The salon is a cozy study that cleverly conceals more modern amenities.
We have a mirror, which is very French in its framing, but this is also a TV, which is hidden behind the mirror.
It's that attention to detail that sets this suite apart. Modern comforts carefully concealed within period charm to magically transport you to another place and time. The royal treatment is something every guest, not just princesses in waiting, experience when they enter the parks and resorts of Walt Disney World.
There is something here that you're not going to find anywhere else. It's maybe in the way that one of the cast members smiles at you, the way someone helps give you directions, maybe in the way that someone goes out of their way to make sure that you have a really good time.
You don't need to be a VIP or to splurge on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation to be the recipient of the royal treatment. You just need to show up.
From the get-go, your little girls are called Princess. So it's good morning, Princess. Are you having a good day, Princess? And it doesn't matter whether you're a VIP or someone who is coming here once in a lifetime. They want everybody to have a spectacular time so that they'll want to come back. And every cast member is right on board with making sure that you have the best time of your life.
The sky's the limit if you're a little girl at the Magic Kingdom.
Every time we come, it's unique. We're guaranteed a fun day at the park, but there will always be a special surprise that we didn't have before. There's going to be a wave from Mickey, a special kiss from Belle, a nice ride at the park.
They make everybody feel special.
The way they treat you at the park here is like royalty, you know, and she's a princess for the day.
And I think all of those things together are what the Disney magic is about.
I think Disney's always changing and growing and seeking out its own best potential. They try to stay with the times. It's constantly seeking out its own perfection.
I think it will be an experience to remember for the rest of their lives. It's something that the kids will always look back on, be it in pictures or be it in videos. It's something that they'll share with their children, and their children will share with their children.
That's the great thing about Disney. You come as a child and you can grow with it, and it grows with you.
Magical.
I mean, it was perfect, absolutely perfect.
And I think that's what makes it special.
They just create unbelievable lasting memories, you know, because it is so magical.
And for these lovely ladies, all is well in the kingdom. The end.
This has been an odd production. Thanks for watching.